Hi everybody, welcome to my Cook at Home with Tonya series here at Cooking on the Bay. Today we're cooking curried prawns with Vietnamese mint, and it's a really lovely everyday dish that I hope you enjoy. It's part of my Cook Real Food program that I run here, and it is a low carbohydrate and healthy fat dish. And as such, we're going to be using some broccoli and some shredded Chinese cabbage instead of rice, okay? So we're going to start off with cooking the broccoli in a little bit of butter, a little bit of oil, and then we're going to sweat it down for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to remove it from the pan, put it to one side, and we're going to finish it off at the very end, okay? But I just want to sort of basically blanch the broccoli. We're going to be cooking our own green curry paste, which I'll take you over to in a moment, and then we're going to cook with the curried prawns with the most beautiful Vietnamese mint, which gives a lovely luscious flavour. Obviously we're going to use ginger and garlic, and we've obviously got the prawns, we've got some coconut cream, and if you don't want to make your own curry paste, you can use one of these green or red curry pastes to go in with it. So to start with, I'm actually going to cook the broccoli, not really cook it, just start it off. And so once the butter here gets a little bit hot, we will pop the broccoli in. I have here some fish stock, and I'm actually going to add the prawn shells to the fish stock, and I'm going to reserve that in case we need it for later on. So I'll pop the fish stock on to bring it to the boil as well. And in this pan, we're going to be cooking our prawns, because I like to cook those separately to give some nice caramelization to the prawns. So it's not necessarily an authentic dish at all, it's one of the dishes that I cook and I like. So when this becomes hot, we will put in our broccoli, but it's nowhere near hot enough. So I'm going to take you over now to our making of our green curry paste. So I have here half a teaspoon of peppercorns, half a teaspoon of coriander seeds, and half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. And I've actually started them off in the mortar and pestle. Now at home, you might like to do this whole paste in your mortar and pestle, but it is much easier for us in our class today to actually cook it, to process it in the food processor, because it will be much quicker. So I'm going to add these ingredients as we go. We have, oh hang on, I can hear my butter and my oil sizzling, so I'm going to pop my broccoli in. You can also use cauliflower rice if you want to in this dish, which is very nice, but I thought the green would be really nice with what we're doing. So we'll just toss that around. Might add a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper to it while it's cooking here. And so it doesn't brown too much. You can see that beautiful colour. The colour comes up instantly, it hits the heat. And the oil and the butter, the virgin olive oil is what we're using. And I am going to add just a little bit of my fish stock, which we make in our stock, sauces and soup classes. So just a little bit of that. We'll put the lid on and let it sit for just a couple of seconds. Okay, so we're going to continue over to here. I might actually turn that off, I think. That'll be all it needs so that we don't get it too soft. So we have some green capsicum. All the ingredients and the quantities are going to be on our website. We've got some lemongrass from my garden. So it's basically lemongrass leaves. So we've got some lemongrass. We have a tablespoon of turmeric, a lean tablespoon, not a full tablespoon. We've got our peppercorns, coriander and cumin seeds, which we have broken up in the mortar and pestle. Green heads of spring onions plus a little bit of white stalk. Lots of garlic, chopped up garlic, give it a bit of a help. Some nice ginger, mixed up as well. Now I've got some green chili here. The red chili if you want to, but I don't think we need it that hot, so we're going to put our green chili in. If I want extra chili at the end, I may add a little bit of green chili to the prawn dish that we have over there. We're going to add a teaspoon or half a teaspoon, I guess that's a teaspoon of salt, and about 2 or 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is about 60 mils of lemon juice. So we will process this, and I'm sorry, it's going to make a big noise. And to that we're going to add about 2 tablespoons or 3 of olive oil. Now this is going to go in with our onions, which we're going to start cooking in a moment. And it is going to cook and break down. Oh. Yep. You can see, which you can't from over there, I don't think, Michael, but you can see the beautiful flavour in this, colour in this, which is going to... And I can smell the beautiful flavour. Oh, sorry. Do you want to have a look? It's not quite pureed enough yet. Okay. So while I finish pureeing that, I'm actually going to go back and take the lid off my broccoli and pop it in the pan. A little dish here, so that it's ready for later on. Okay, so we're going to leave our green curry paste, we're going to add that to here. So we now are going to cook our onions with a little bit of butter, because I like the flavour of the butter, and we're going to cook it in a cool, they're not hot yet. That round. And while the onions are cooking, we're going to cook our prawns. You can cook your prawns, basically poach them if you like, in with your curry down when you're ready for it, because they only take a few minutes to cook, they don't take long to cook. But as I said, I actually really like cooking them separately. This is not a traditional dish of any sort other than my own, which is something I like to cook for a nice prawn curry. We have some ginger here, which we will be adding in a moment. I'll add a bit more butter, a bit more oil to this. My ginger in. Can cook a bit longer. We want to cook our curry paste in with this, because we want to cook it down as well, because it has a fair bit of fibrous ingredients in there. So I might just go and put a few tablespoons of that in before we add our garlic, because we don't want to cook that garlic for too long, because it will burn. If you're not making your own curry paste and you're just using a commercial one, make sure you buy one without any sunflower oil or canola oil or other oils. That's why I like to make my own. But this one is a particularly good one. So I'm going to add my curry paste. Well, this is all cooking down. That's about 1/4 cup measure there. We may need to add a little more. we think we need some more flavour to it. So we've got our ginger. Now, with the prawns, I'm really sorry, I bought some beautiful extra large king prawns from Queensland. And when I was preparing for this session, I actually cleaned them all. I meant to actually save some for you to clean with me. I'm just going to put this on. Pan's a little bit hot. Just tip a little bit of that out. And I'm going to burn it now. Here too. You don't want to let it get too dry. And we're going to add our prawns, and I'm going to talk to you about how I cleaned the prawns too. But I want to quickly cook these prawns so that they curl, and you'll see them curling, and they will get a lovely golden bit of caramelisation on them, which is extra flavour, which is what we're wanting. Sorry, I turned off my heat. I'm going to take them back. I'll wait till that gets hot. I thought it was hot. Pop our onion in there. Our garlic, rather. Garlic into our onion. And we're going to start our prawns again. There you go, that's nice sizzle. And we'll put in about 3. This is half a kilo of prawns, which actually amounts to 8 extra large Queensland prawns. So it makes more of an entree than a main dinner, but we will see. See, that's exact, Michael, that's exactly what we're wanting, that lovely, you see that beautiful colour in those prawns? Delicious. And the aroma from this lovely paste, curry paste, is just looking good. So I don't want to cook these too much because they are going back in our sauce. So I'm going to take them out once they've got a little bit of colour. Put the next lot in. And as this has been cooking nicely for a little while, I'm going to add my coconut cream, which is a nice organic coconut cream, about 200 mils. And I did whisk it round a little bit. But you can see there's a bit of coconut lumpy stuff in there. Turn that over, turn it over. So we want to reduce our coconut cream down a bit. You can see how much hotter the pan is getting. These are my favourite pots, these pans, because when they're hot they do heat up really well. Nice colour. You get a look at that one. You can see how they're starting to curl around as well. Can you see how this is curling around in the pan as well? Lovely. So, put it off. So this is coming along. I'm going to add a little bit more coconut cream. We have got, along with our broccoli and with our cabbage, we've got a little bit of extra in there so that it can take a bit of extra coconut cream. So we're probably adding about 300 mils altogether at the moment. And with the fish stock that I have here, I have that on hand. As I said, we make that in our stock sauces and soups class, but I'm actually going to add the heads and the shells of the prawns to that, and I'm just going to simmer that just for about 10 minutes in case we need extra flavouring or extra liquid really. If you don't happen to have fish stock on hand, you can buy it in certain fishmongers. You could use water that you have cooked your fish heads, your prawn heads in. That would be perfectly fine. Okay, so don't worry. There is a lot of flavour in the dish as it is. Now I'm going to have a little taste of this to see what we need to add. It's tasting beautiful and intense. For me, I'm going to add a little bit more chilli. So I'm going to add, to tell you, about that much extra chilli. And I'm going to return the prawns to this. You can see it's thickening up nicely too. I'm going to add salt, and I probably will add another 1/4 teaspoon or so of salt. As you know, we're into flavour of salt. These recipes, or this recipe, will be on my website, and I'll add it to the YouTube page for this video as well. It's the most beautiful colour, isn't it? And I am going to add a little bit more salt because my grinder doesn't quite give it the intensity that I want. So there's my Himalayan pureed rock salt. I'm going to add back my prawns. I'm going to add, I've added some lemon juice. I may add a little bit more lemon juice towards the end. So I will return my prawns to the pan. And have another little taste. I think you might like this. This is going to be lovely. And then the hero of this dish, I think, is, besides the prawns, my Vietnamese mint. So I'm going to tear that up. And if you don't have this growing, it is very easy to grow from a cutting, and you'll find it in various nurseries. But it is a really, it just adds that superb finish, which I really love. So now we're going to return our broccoli. I've got the broccoli, prawns, Chinese shredded cabbage, and besides the beautiful aroma that I'm getting here, you have the most beautiful colours with these glorious prawns, which have only been cooking for a very short time. You've got maximum flavour. And I can't wait to eat it. So I will just simply finish it with a few fresh Vietnamese mince leaves. And there we have lovely Vietnamese curry with our broccoli and our shredded Chinese cabbage ready to serve right now. So dinner is going to be looking absolutely delicious for tonight. So I hope you enjoy making this in your kitchen at home too. Bye.